A Commodities Futures Trading Guide. Chapter 1. Futures Trading Info. Futures Trading. Futures trading is buying or selling goods at prices agreed upon today but with actual delivery in the future. Things can happen to change the price of the goods on the worldwide market that you bought today at a preset price, which could either make you money or lose you money when the delivery date arrives. A forward contract can be transacted anywhere, but a futures contract is different in that it can only be transacted on an exchange trading floor. The cash price is the real price of the commodity right now, while the futures price is the price at some point in time in the future, the hypothetical delivery date. Although the two are related, they're not directly proportional because there are different forces acting on each, like supply and demand for cash price, changes in price and traders' expectations, educated guesses, speculating about the futures price. Price charts neatly show the fluctuations of commodity prices over time. Each of the players, the buyer and the seller, hope that something will happen so that he gains on the deal. For example, for the corn seller, if there's a bumper crop producing a surplus of corn, he can breathe a sigh of relief because he's still getting a decent price for his corn. However, on the other hand, the buyer of the corn future hopes that something happens that will drive the price up, like either a drought or disaster producing a low corn yield or an unexpected big purchase by the Russians. Futures contracts are sold for many things like coffee, wheat, rye, corn, oats, soybeans, oil, sugar, cocoa, pork bellies, cattle, copper, silver, platinum, mercury, cotton, wool, eggs, potatoes, orange juice, gold, international money and treasury bills. Futures are sold in around 40 different commodities at any given time, plus futures in each commodity is sold in different time increments, like, for example, wheat futures are sold for 5 time periods during the year: March, May, July, September, and December. Much of the value of futures in grains has to do with seasonal changes. Of all the people I have met in the investment world, very few really understand what's going on in the futures market. Most investment books pay lip service with a general, ambiguous chapter. Based on the books I read about it, many first-time speculators lose money and quit immediately. Some people make money, but the only real winners are the brokerage houses who collect commissions regardless of what happens. If the money you plan to invest isn't money you can afford to lose, don't do it. It's a tough field that takes a lot of education before you really understand it, and then you have to keep up with the current research on whatever commodities you're playing. The golden rule is cut your losses short and let your profits run. If you're really interested, you have to get a copy of Futures magazine and go from there, buying some of the books advertised in it, or go to the number 332.644 section of the library where you might find a book or two about it. A speculator buys the commodity with the expectation that it will increase in value at a later date. Then when it increases, he sells at the higher price without ever having had taken physical possession of the product itself. It's that simple. Futures trading is about as close as you can get to straight-out gambling in the investment world. It's geared for that type of personality that gets a rush out of it. A successful speculator will lose money at some point in time, but he won't let that stop him from going on. It's your job to figure out what will go up in the future and buy today to make money. If you can predict that according to the research that you do through reading newspapers, etc., you can expect to make money. Experts say that it's a numbers game. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Expect to lose and have the guts to keep going. Beyond selecting the particular commodity you want to buy, the second most critical factor is deciding on when to sell. Some people have it all figured out in advance. Others go day by day and watch the fluctuations in one of the major investment papers like Investor's Business Daily, The Wall Street Journal, or online. Some futures plans that you can buy as advertised in Futures magazine have plotted out the yearly cycles of some of the commodities and offer probabilities of when are the best times to buy based on past performance. They'll offer advice like, if you buy coffee futures between August 19th and 27th, there's an 80% you will make money. Options are traded on futures contracts in much the same way as they are in stocks. You can buy futures options for different time intervals like a month from now, 2 months from now, etc. It gets complicated with traders playing spreads, hedging, buying long or short, buying different length options of the same commodity to cancel a possible loss out, etc. So before you get into it, learn about it and read some books. Get the free booklet Buying Options on Futures Contracts from the National Futures Association, 800-676-4NFA, nfa.futures.org. The major futures markets are in Chicago, New York, London with minor ones in Kansas City, Minneapolis, Toronto, and Winnipeg. There's a lot of risk involved and you could lose big if the price of the commodity goes down. The way to trade futures is to open an account and start trading. The fact is that 90% of all individual futures investors lose money in commodities. It's called a zero-sum game because for every contract that wins, someone loses. If you put enough money into the account, brokers will give you buying leverage on margin, meaning you only have to put up 10% of the buying price. If you're an active trader, you will usually sell off the commodity very quickly, in a week or two, because the market is always fluctuating and that's the nature of it, to buy and sell quickly. Watch out for all the commissions on all the transactions you make. Commissions are different for each commodity. Just like with stocks, different futures brokerages charge different fees for trades. If prices drop in the commodities market, unlike stock markets, don't buy. The two ways to educate yourself are to learn about the commodities themselves in the real world, like how are the corn crops doing, and then anticipate or simply follow market trends in a technical manner with a formula. Follow long-term trends over short-term trends. Farmers and others like oil companies often engage in hedging, which is selling the futures of their crop at planting time to ensure a decent price at harvest time. If the price of the crop falls, he still makes a profit with his futures contracts. If the price of the crop rises, he loses in the futures market but makes it up when he sells his crop to the grain elevator. Some companies like a coffee shop franchise buy futures contracts for products like coffee or sugar to protect themselves against possibly rising prices in the future. They win either way, regardless of whether prices go up or down. You could buck the trend and buy just 1 or 2 commodities and hold onto them for several months, anticipating the usual cyclical changes like buying heating oil in the summer and selling in the winter, buying grains during planting time and selling at harvest time. Just like stocks, you can analyze the future market in terms of the real fundamental condition of the marketplace or via the graphs and charts of technical analysis, but it's just an educated guess, all probability, no certainty involved. The best commodities are those that have a large supply and demand, with a large supply with ample protection from spoilage. One technique in agriculture futures like wheat and corn is to buy a 6-month future in April, wait for the late summer harvest, hope that it's a bad crop and sell sometime in the fall. Despite what the ads say, most people lose in futures trading and you have to waste time learning the system, so unless you're an expert, stay out. Futures market pools. There are commodity market pools, which are something like mutual funds for the commodities market. You can invest some money which professional futures traders manage. They usually charge commissions and a percentage of any profits. Most brokerage firms have futures trading advisors on their staffs. Managed Futures Association. 471 Emerson St. Number 200. Palo Alto, California 94301. 415-325-4533. mfaalts.org. Will recommend futures trading advisors. Commodity future exchanges. The stock exchanges and brokerage firms also deal in futures trading. Shop around for the lowest commissions. CFTC.gov, Commodity Futures Trading Commission. CBOE.com, Chicago Board Options Exchange. CBOT, Chicago Board of Trade. CCELTD.com, Caribbean Commodity Exchange. CME.com/market/quote, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. HKFE.com, Hong Kong Futures Exchange. LIF.com, London International Financial Futures and Options Exchange. MGX.com, Minneapolis Grain Exchange. NYCE.com, New York Cotton Exchange. NYMEX.com, New York Mercantile Exchange. RE.RU, Russian Commodity and Raw Materials Exchange. Safex.co.za, South Africa. TGE.or.jp, Tokyo Grain Exchange. TIFI.or.jp, Tokyo Futures Exchange. WCE.mb.ca, Winnipeg Commodities Exchange. Telenium.ca/WCE, quotes. Chicago Board of Trade. Investment Office. 141 West Jackson Boulevard. Chicago, Illinois 60604. 312-341-7955. Fax, 312-341-3027. CBOT.com. Trades futures options for 4 commodity groups: grains, precious metals, financial instruments, and stock indexes. Chicago Board Options Exchange. 400 South LaSalle St. Chicago, Illinois 60605. 800 Options. 312-786-5600. Fax, 312-786-7409. CBOE.com. Chicago Rice and Cotton Exchange. 400 South LaSalle St. Chicago, Illinois 60605. 312-786-5600. Chicago Mercantile Exchange and International Monetary Market. Statistics Department. 30 South Wacker Drive. Chicago, Illinois 60606. 312-930-1000. 800-336-3332. Fax, 312-930-3439. CME.com. Free Commodity Futures Investment Kit. 24HR hotline that gives you the latest movements of the futures and options markets. Commodity Exchange Inc. COMEX. New York, New York 10048. 212-938-2935. 212-938-2900. Trades in rare and precious metals options and futures. They will give you free brochures about commodities trading as well as a list of member companies. Coffee, Sugar, and Cocoa Exchange. NYC 10048. 212-938-2800. Commodity Exchange. NYC 10048. 212-938-2900. Kansas City Board of Trade. 4800 Main St. Number 303. Kansas City, Missouri 64112. 800-821-4444. 800-821-5228. 816-753-7500. Fax, 816-531-0627. KCBT.com. Mid-America Commodity Exchange. 141 West Jackson Boulevard. Chicago, Illinois 60604. 312-341-3000. CBOT.com. Minneapolis Grain Exchange. 400 South 4th St. Number 130. Minneapolis, Minnesota 55415. 612-338-6212. MGE.com. New York Cotton Exchange and Associates. NYC 10048. 212-748-1248. 800-843-6933. Fax, 212-742-5026. NYMEX.com. New York Mercantile Exchange. NYC 10048. 212-748-3000. NYMEX.com. New York Futures Exchange. 20, Broad St. NYC 10005. 212-656-4949. Chapter 2. A Futures Resource Guide. Futures/Commodities/Options Software. ablesys.com. CISCO-FUTURES.com. DIDAX-TS.com. EssexTrading.com. FuturesFirst.com. GFSBroker.com. ISIN.com/aberration. MAY.com. NCSOL.com. Optionomics.com. OptionVoo.com. PeakTradingGroup.com. TRIDENT-TRADING.com. Futures Resources. National Futures Association. 200 West Madison St. Number 1600. Chicago, Illinois 60606. 312-781-1410. 800-676-4 ENFA, Disciplinary Line. 800-621-3570, Info Line. 800-572-9400, IL. nfa.futures.org. The Major Futures Organization. Futures Magazine. Commodity Close Up. 250 South Wacker Drive. Number 1150. Chicago, Illinois 60606. 800-635-3936. FuturesMag.com. Futures Industry Association. FIA. 2001 Pennsylvania Avenue NW. Number 600. Washington, D.C. 20006-1850. 202-466-5460. info@fia.org. fia.org. Futures Brokers. AccessDirect.com. Alaron.com. APackardTrading.com. AvaFX.com. BarnBigs.com. CCStrata.com. Comstock.com. CompassFinancial.com. DHFinancial.com. EdgeFutures.com. e-forexbrokers.com. FADC.com. Forex.dj. forex-trading-brokers.info. futures1.com. futures-brokers-direct.com. futuresweb.com. fxtrade.oanda.com. fxtraders.eu. iepstein.com. infinitytrading.com. interactivebrokers.com. jackcarl.com. lfgllc.com. lind-waldock.com. lind-waldock.com, biggest discount futures brokerage. mcn.net/spectrum. merchantcapitallink.com. midstates.com, broker in Oklahoma. netfirms.com/online-future-trading-brokers.html. netfutures.com. nobletrading.com. oexmaster.com, index options. oio.com, options broker. optimusfutures.com. optionsbroker.com. paragoninvestments.com. pcis.net/wglucasfutures. pfgbest.com. premiertrading.com, brokerage to high rollers and institutions. pricegroup.com. primetimetrading.com, 800-545-6436. prods.com, 800-621-5987. randusa.com. robbins-trading.com. royalpalmtrading.com. rwolf.com. sadleriverfutures.com. solstany.com. terranovatrading.com. trade-futures.com, traders1.com, trading.com, trading.com/commodities.llc, trading.com/pschmidt.cta, tradingintl.com, transitionstrading.com, expresstrade.com, zapfutures.com. Futures websites: futuresindustry.org, Futures Industry Association, ino.com, cmegroup.com, official website of CME Group, the world's largest futures and options exchange, formed by the merger of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the Chicago Board of Trade and the New York Mercantile. futures-brokers-review.com, nfa.futures.org/basicnet, National Futures Association, Futures Brokers Background Checks, aantickets.com, adasmarket.com.